Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, is now in Tihar jail. He'll spend the next 2 weeks there in connection with the liquor policy case. Now, the opposition says Mr. Kejriwal is being harassed as part of an effort to shut down the opposition. The Enforcement Directorate says that he is the kingpin of the alleged scam. And the Aam Aadmi Party says that he'll continue to be Delhi's Chief Minister even while he is behind bars. Is that practical? Does that work? Joining us to look at that, we're joined by Manjinder Singh Sirsa, spokesperson of the BJP. I'm joined by Abhinandita Mathur of the Aam Aadmi Party and Aarti Jairat. Abhinandita, is that a practical sort of way forward, that he will continue to be Chief Minister even when he's in jail? What about the fact that this is one of the largest cities in the world? It needs real governance and a Chief Minister who's not behind bars.
Vishnu, there is one thing that right at the beginning I should say that, there is one aspect of it is all the legal aspect and administrative aspect. The other is it is happening in a political context, which we should keep in mind in the course of this conversation. It is unfortunate that we don't ask these questions of incompetent sitting chief ministers, even outside. For example, the Biren Singh, the chief minister of Manipur. Manipur has been burning for the last 1 year, and nobody has asked for his resignation. BJP has not, dissuaded him from keep being on the chair or replaced him or anything. So, there is a very competent chief minister who's done incredible work, has done path-breaking work, if I may say so. And he has to be on pure allegations, without any evidence, without conviction, has been put behind bars. What I'm trying to say is that this is an extraordinary scenario that the BJP has put this country in. It is in an undeclared emergency, and it's a blatant, shameless sort of parade of BJP's power and might. Whether or not Mr. Kejriwal will govern, well, there is no law that stops him. And they did go to courts, and the court, did crush that argument. So let's see what happens. What I can assure the people of Delhi is that, despite all the problems, all the hindrances that the central government has been putting on the Chief Minister of Delhi, the people of Delhi have entrusted him, have put in the faith. He's not let them down, which is how we, keep getting this big mandate in Delhi. I think that he will do what the will of the people is. And
Okay.
when we had gone door to door, because we saw this coming a couple of months ago, we had a unanimous, yes, we want only Arvind Kejriwal.
Okay, I get it. So he will remain in power because that, you say, is what people want. Manjinder Singh Sirsa replied to that. There is no evidence which the Aam Aadmi Party says has been found against him. He's not been convicted. He's been questioned presently. Therefore, he has every right to remain Chief Minister. That's their argument. How would you reply?
So in last 75 years, there is not a single instance where you feel that some chief minister or even a minister is behind the bars in a jail and he says कि नहीं मैं तो मुख्यमंत्री ही रहूँगा. So for the sake of argument, let's presume tomorrow any state DGP is involved in any kind of a crime and the case is registered against him. He is put behind the bar and he says कि मैं तो DGP पुलिस हूँ, मैं तो पढ़ लिख कर IPS बनकर आया हूँ. कहाँ लिखा है कानून में मैं तो DGP जेल से चलाऊँगा. Now the second thing is, they said कि कोई conviction नहीं हुई. Every other person who has resigned from the post, may it be a late Jayalalitha ji, may it be a current Chief Minister Suren ji, may it be a Lalu Prasad Yadav ji, may it be a Uma Bharti ji who was just summoned by the court. There is not a single instance which says there is some moral responsibility towards the constitution, towards the people of the country. Now the spokesperson says कि उनको तो लोगों ने mandate दिया है. Do you think Lalu Prasad Yadav became Chief Minister without mandate? So public has not given mandate, but he became Chief Minister. Jayalalitha ji became Chief Minister without mandate. So people has not voted for Jayalalitha ji, but somehow she became Chief Minister. And what about the Hemant Soren ji? So he's a Chief Minister without mandate. Every minister, MLA, Member Parliament, Chief Minister, Union Minister only comes to the post when it's mandated by the people.
Right.
Now the question is, Laluji also came to the power with the people mandate, but when he was involved in corruption, he was put behind bars. He first resigned, make a way for her wife, Rabdi ji, and she became the chief minister. Now, for the sake of reason, now this is all moral duties. But now I talk about the constitutional duty.
Yeah.
One must always understand, while Arvind Kejriwal is in jail, neither he can sign any document, neither he can call for any meeting, neither he can pass any order. And in case, supposingly, tomorrow he want to write a simple letter, not an order, just a simple letter. That letter also has to be read by the jailer. Then only this letter can be passed on to any other person. So here he has taken an oath also, and oath for secrecy also. It is totally impossible that chief minister can run a
Okay, so it's
chief
not
ministership from
practical
jail.
for... Okay,
and now she's where it is written.
Sure, I get that point.
30 seconds if you allow me. But 30 seconds if you allow me.
Go ahead.
Now the lady says कि कहाँ लिखा हुआ है? That क्यों नहीं लिखा हुआ? Because nobody in his wildest dreamed have ever thought that there would be some person who will be sitting on a chief minister's chair and going to jail and then saying कि मैं तो chief minister हूँगा जी मेरे को तो
Okay, Manjinder ji, I get the point you're making. I want to go across to Aarti, and Abhinandita, I'll give you a right to reply after that. I think, Aarti, the larger question which people are asking is with Kejriwal presently in Tihar jail, not just the issue of governance, what about the immediate future of the Aam Aadmi Party? There are elections around the corner. Some suggest that there may be a way for Kejriwal. Others suggest that if this doesn't go well for Arvind Kejriwal, the future of the Aam Aadmi Party as a viable entity is something that certainly may be questioned. How do you see this going for them?
Well, I think, Vishnu, these questions will be answered, as the weeks unfold. There are various issues involved here. Firstly, whether Arvind Kejriwal should actually be in jail when at the moment he's only being questioned. No charge sheet has been filed against him. In fact, he's simply being questioned. So why he should be put behind bars when he's being questioned is a mystery to me. But anyway, the court has decided in its wisdom that he should remain behind bars. So I guess he remains behind bars. Secondly, it is completely untenable for a government to run from jail. I think, as Mr. Sirsa pointed out, there are certain constitutional requirements for governance. And obviously, those constitutional requirements cannot be fulfilled as long as somebody is in jail. Now, why is Arvind Kejriwal sticking to the stand that he's going to run the government from jail? I think it's a challenge to the centre. Then dismiss me. Then dismiss me. If you dare to dismiss me, dismiss me. And I think that is really what Arvind Kejriwal would like, because that then helps him to, do what he does best, which is play the victim card and get public sympathy. So, rather than have to go through this thing of trying to choose a replacement for himself from amongst his ministers, or should he put his wife in, and create all kinds of power struggles in his party, I think the simplest option would be for him to just, stick to his guns, make it so difficult that ultimately they will have to declare president's rule and dismiss his government, and then, he can play his politics. So, it's a perception battle, Vishnu. It's a war of nerves between the Modi government and Kejriwal. At a time when elections are now reaching its peak election season, and the question is whose narrative is going to sell better to the voter? Aam Aadmi Party's narrative that Kejriwal is being victimized, that the opposition is being victimized, that agencies are being used against them, or the government's narrative that, these opposition parties are corrupt. Arvind Kejriwal, who came to power on an anti-graft, movement, has proved to be as corrupt as the rest. So, it's this battle of narratives that is going on. And, it will be decided in the people's court. And then, not really in a court of law.
Sure.
In the people's court.
Abhinandita, how would you respond to what Aarti is saying when she suggests that Arvind Kejriwal is playing a game where he is trying to get into a situation where he's dismissed, and that suits the Aam Aadmi Party politically in these elections? How would you respond to that?
I'll agree with Aarti when she says that this is a game of nerves. And BJP's bad luck is that this time they are actually encountering somebody like Arvind Kejriwal. And that is also why they are especially very mean to him or go after him, because they don't have a tod for Arvind Kejriwal as yet. It's true that it is a game of nerves, not just between the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal with the BJP, but I think for a lot of Indians who see this country going down the drain in the current BJP regime. What it means is that, when they speak about corruption, BJP speaks about corruption, obviously they are not serious, and the people are able to see it, because if you look at the Sharda Chit scam accused, they are in the BJP. You look at the water scam accused in Assam, they are in the BJP. They're the chief minister from a BJP government. If you look at the main, accused of the, so to speak, liquor scam, one of the main accused, this Srirat Reddy, is now, gives 60 crore rupees to BJP in electoral bonds, and ED does not object to his bail. The BJP did not realize until this point that
the ED is being suggested.
The Supreme Court will actually.
What you're saying is that the ED is being selective.
Reveal the data of electoral bonds, and that is the turning point in this case.
Abhinandita, I'm only interrupting you. I take the point that you're mentioning, where you're saying that the ED is being selective. You've given examples. The flip side of this is that the ED believes that the liquor policy in Delhi provided an impossibly high profit margin, nearly 185% for retailers, 12% for wholesalers. Part of these proceeds came to the Aam Aadmi Party, which funded your election campaign in Goa, right? And that Arvind Kejriwal has not been responding. He's been evasive when these questions have been put to him. So you can raise other examples of corruption and look, they've done nothing there. But these are all very serious charges. Respond to these.
Well, these are charges, and like I said earlier, that these are only charges without any basis. If the BJP was that committed about, forget the corruption otherwise, but even if about this particular case, why would it accept, 60 crore rupees from a co-accused in this matter, who then turns government approver? So these are all very questionable things. I do get what you're saying, but one has to look at it, like I said earlier, beyond the legal aspect. We have to look at it within a political context, and the political context is that despite all the chappan in chati and 400 par and so on, Modi ji's
all right, so there's a political context is what the Aam Aadmi Party is saying. Manjinder Singh Sirsa, reply to that. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. So first of all, I am totally in agreement with Ms. Mathur when she says कि उनका एक गलत आदमी से पाला पड़ गया विद अ रॉन्ग मैन. हम बिल्कुल मानते हैं, बिकॉज इन द थॉट प्रोसेस इन लास्ट 75 ईयर यू मस्ट हैव नेवर सीन अ सिंगल पर्सन जो इतना करप्ट हो, हु सेज कि मैं तो एक 2 कमरे के मकान में रहूँगा, टुडे इज लिविंग इन 100 crore रुपीस हाउस, हु सेड मुझे तो सिक्योरिटी नहीं चाहिए, नाउ ही वांट्स फॉर 2 स्टेट सिक्योरिटी. प्लीज कंप्लीट, लेट मी कंप्लीट. माथुर, मिस माथुर, प्लीज लेट मी कंप्लीट. हाँ, Abhinanda ji, please let me complete it. Okay. Now the third thing is, very importantly, I must mention here, they said कि जी कोई सबूत ही नहीं है. Arvind Kejriwal ji went to court, went to lower court. The court said you have to be summoned. They went to high court. The double bench, after seeing this evidence, put up a case for after lunch. So then they decided that we cannot, after seeing the evidence, they said we cannot give any kind of a relief, no coercive action, stay cannot be granted, no bail cannot be granted, no arrest stay can't be granted. Arvind Kejriwal ji went to Supreme Court also, but then they withdraw the petition because K. Kavita petition was rejected at the same time. Sanjay Singh ji went to every court. Manish Sisodia ji went to up to Supreme Court, but no, every court said that there is a sufficient evidence on record, in the proceeds of crime on record, and it's a very serious case. They can't be granted bail. Now they say कि हमारे खिलाफ तो सबूत ही कोई नहीं है. Now today what happened in court? Now the person who is a middleman, Mr. Nair, Vijay Nair, who Arvind Kejriwal has, मुझे पता ही नहीं कौन है. कल उनके मिनिस्टर, yesterday only इस मिनिस्टर said कि मेरा ऑफिशियल बंगला जो था मैंने विजय नायर को दिया था अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के कहने पे. मैं संत कुंज में रहता था, मैं उस बंगले में नहीं रहता था. दिस स्टेटमेंट इज गिवन बाय मिस्टर गहलोत, नन अदर देन इट इज हिज मिनिस्टर, हिज पार्टी मिनिस्टर. वी सेड कि मैंने अपना ऑफिशियल बंगला विजय नायर को दिया था. नाउ हु इज अ विजय नायर टू ऑक्यूपाई दैट बंगला? एंड टुडे इन द कोर्ट, इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ अरविंद केजरीवाल जी, द लॉयर सेड, द एएसजी राजू सेड कि इन्होंने कहा है कि मेरे से कुछ नहीं पता विजय नायर किससे पैसा लेन देन करता था, क्या काम करता था. he was reporting to Atishi ji and Bhardwaj ji. And that is in the presence of Arvind Kejriwal ji. So one thing is very clear, there are too many things on evidence, on record to prove that Arvind Kejriwal is directly involved. And today when he was again sent to jail, so if there, from today onwards, see, Vishnu, one thing you must always remember from today onwards. So let it be last 10 days, Arvind Kejriwal ji was in the custody with ED. So we can say that Arvind Kejriwal ji ko illegally arrest kar liya. But today onwards, it has nothing to do with ED, it has nothing to do with any agency, any government. No, it's a sole purpose of the legal system that whether they feel that is accused or not.
Right. I'd like to wrap this up at this stage. I'd like to thank you all very much for being with us. Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi Chief Minister, now in Tihar. The Aam Aadmi Party says that this is part of a larger political conspiracy against him. The BJP insists that the charges are strong and that he must face justice. We'll take a short break, come back.